of the ninth persecution of the Christians under Aurelian commenced about AD 273, concerning the cruelty and bloodthirstiness of the Emperor Aurelian against the Christians, and how he was prevented therein by God. A. Melanus writes, Aurelian was a stern, cruel, and bloodthirsty emperor by nature, and although, at first, he had a good opinion of the Christians, he nevertheless afterwards became averse to and estranged from them. After having undoubtedly, by some talebearers, been instigated against the Christians, he allowed himself to be seduced so far as to raise the ninth general persecution of the Roman monarchy against them, which persecution he, however, did not carry out, for at the very moment in which the decrees written against the Christians were laid before him by his secretary that he might sign them, and when he was about to take the pen in his hand, the hand of God came suddenly and touched him, smiting his hand with lameness, and thus preventing him in his purpose, so that he could not sign them. A more particular account of this persecution according to P.J. Twisk. He writes, Emperor Aurelian commenced the ninth persecution against the Christians. He was by nature inclined to tyranny, and was a furious bloodhound, as Eutropius writes, so that he did not hesitate to kill his sister's son, and finally, through the atrocity of his own wicked nature, and evil counsel suggested to him, he became an enemy and persecutor of the Christians. He sent letters to the governors of the Roman country that they should vex the Christians, but when he was about actually to carry the persecution into effect, he could not sign the decrees which were to be issued against the Christians, because God smote him, so that his hand was paralyzed. Through divine judgment, he was terrified by thunder, lightning, and fire darts at the time that he was constantly meditating how he might slay and exterminate the Christians, and shortly after was himself killed by his notary. What the author of the introduction, etc., has written about this persecution. In AD 273 arose the ninth persecution of the Christians under the Emperor Aurelian, but it was not as great as the former, because death suddenly overtook him as he purposed to himself to begin it. Under him were killed, etc., and many others, concerning whom no special accounts are extant. Notwithstanding Emperor Aurelian could not himself sign the above-mentioned decrees against the Christians, the persecution nevertheless proceeded in some places, so that here and there some laid down their lives for the testimony of Jesus Christ, of whom we shall mention only a few whom we've selected as true martyrs.